Hello everyone, Glenda Mollett here, and I'm in my craft room with you today, and we're creating another card for the Well Done kit to go card class that I have coming up. It's going to have 3 cards made with the Well Done bundle, so this is one of them. We're going to use the Well Done stamp set and coordinating whale builder punch, some of the Whale of a Time designer paper, and some cardstock. So we have an envelope. Oops. Guess I need a clean envelope. A Whisper White card base, that thick Whisper White card base, that's 8.5 by 5.5. Scored and folded in half. A piece of Whisper White 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside, and this is what the inside looks like. Cute little turtles. Then we have a piece of, or 2 pieces of designer paper, of the Whale of a Time designer paper, and they are each 1 by 5 1/4. So you can use whichever side you want. A piece of Pretty Peacock that's 3 by 3.5, and that goes in behind the piece that we're stamping on. A piece of Whisper White that's 2 7/8 by 3 3/8, and that's going to layer on there like that after we do some stamping. I also have a piece of Whisper White that is 2 by 2 3/4, and we're going to stamp and punch the whale out. A piece of rainbow glimmer paper that's 2 by 1. I actually have 2 pieces. Didn't know which one I wanted to use, so I threw 2 of them in there. Okay, so we're going to get started with putting the designer paper on first. And you can kind of play. Each one will have a different pattern on it. So just kind of play. Oh look, those ones are exactly the same. Play with it and figure out which way you want your fishes to go. I think I'll do mine that way. Okay, so I'm going to put some of the new Stamp and Seal on the back of this. I can hear a bee outside my... Just got to get it started here. I can hear a bee outside my window. He's distracting me. Okay, and I'm just running a couple of strips of this new Stamp and Seal. I like this. The Stamp and Seal is really nice to use. It's nice, it flows really good. Okay, so we're just going to put that on here. Oops. Apparently it sticks really good too. There, that's better. Okay, now we'll put adhesive on the other one, making sure we put it on the opposite side so we don't have them both facing the same direction. Wouldn't that be funny? Cut 2 pieces of designer paper and then have them facing the same direction. Okay, now we'll put this on here, and it goes right up against that one, just like that. There we are. Okay. So I'll put that off to the side for now. And we'll get out this piece that's going to have all the stamping. And I have a piece of dirty paper hiding under here because we have to do some stamping and sponging. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my mint macaron. Oh, the ink that we're using is Blackberry Bliss, Pretty Peacock, Calypso Coral, Just Jade, and Mint Macaron. So I need the Mint Macaron because that's the sponging in the background. And a sponge. So when you're sponging, ink up your sponge really well and then tap it off onto some spare paper. because that way you don't get a blotch on your cardstock. And you can kind of start in the middle if you want. Now, how dark you make this is completely up to you. I like the ombre look of it getting lighter and lighter at the top. And then I'm just going to go back and forth over it a couple of times. There we go. So that's that done. Now I'm going to get out the Pretty Peacock. And this is the seaweed image out of the stamp set. And we'll do some stamping on here. Make sure we get good inkage. And I'm going to vary it up and down, but I'm not going to do it in different ink weights. I want it all to be dark ink. We'll just do a little one down there. Do a bigger one up here. And do one in the middle, like that. There we are. Put that to the side and close this before I get it everywhere. And I'll bring out the Calypso Coral so we can put the fish on. Now I'm not going to put the fish all the way across. I like having the effect of them being part way. So I'm just going to start with the lead dudes, like that, and then fill in. And make sure you ink up in between so you have nice dark fish. Okay, I'm just going to put one right there. There we are. That's that done. So now, get rid of the dirty paper and give it a little bit of a, make sure it's nice and dry before I flip it over. And we'll put the adhesive on the back. See how nice this new adhesive runs? I just got 2 of them because I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it. But I like it. I think it will be my go-to adhesive. Okay, so I'm going to lay this on here and center it on that piece. Now, the only other thing I have to do this is add the sequins, and I can do them afterwards. So we're going to put dimensionals on here now. And then I'm just going to get some little pieces for on the ends. I like making sure I have lots of support underneath my cardstock when it's being popped up. So I tend to put lots of dimensionals on there because there's nothing worse than having a card that collapses in the middle. So that's going to go on here like this. And I haven't stamped the sentiment yet, but because that needs to go on after you get this part on. So we're just going to take the backings off those. So let me show you a little trick. If you don't like taking those backings off, just use your pick tool, spear it in the center, and just kind of lift and swish it off. See how easy it is to get those off? And of course that one's not doing it because I told you it was easy. Okay, so now we're going to put this down, and it's going to go up towards the top a little bit, but centered sideways. Just make sure you get it straight. You want it centered here and here, and then up towards the top. There we go. Now, get out the Just Jade. This is one of the new in colors, and holy man, do I like it. And we're going to put the sentiment in there. Just going to ink it up. And because the stamp set is clear, you can put it wherever you want and make sure it's straight. Thanks a ton. Isn't that cute? Okay, Blackberry Bliss is the next color I'm going to use. And we're going to stamp the whale in Blackberry Bliss. Now you want to make sure you have good ink coverage, but you don't want your pad to be too juicy or you'll lose the dot effect of him. And we're just going to stamp it onto the cardstock. And we'll put this away. And I can see it's still a bit wet, so I'm just going to give it a bit of a shake because I don't want to put it into the punch wet, because then you end up with issues. Alright, so then you turn the punch over so you can watch what you're doing and line this up. Now the longer you take to line it up, the better your punched image is going to be. So there, I've got it all centered with a nice even white edge all the way around, and give it a quick pop. And we'll just dump all those leftovers right into the garbage can. And when you first look at this, well, when I first looked at it, I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't get ink there. That's his blowhole, so you don't want ink there. I know, pretty cool, eh? All right, I get some dimensionals here because he's going to be popped up too. I keep saying he, but what if it's a girl whale? We don't know that. There we are. And I'll do that little trick again just so you can see it. See how easy it is? It just kind of flips off of there. Especially if you have not your own nails. Okay, so this dude's going to go in here. Going to put him kind of up there like that. Now, the blowhole pieces, if you can see here, they're made out of the new rainbow glimmer paper. Ooh, doggy, do I like that stuff. So I don't need two pieces, I just need one. And I need to put them in here, like that. But I'm going to just stick a little piece of the adhesive sheets on there. So, oops, didn't get enough off of it. There we go, that's better. So I don't have to worry about putting adhesive on the back of it. And I'm going to save that little piece, not this one. I'm going to save this little piece because it could come in handy. Because you know, it's all about the little pieces. So then you take the liner with the writing on it comes off. And I just fold it back. Don't touch this part because it'll come off on your fingers and you won't have adhesive. And then you just put it onto your cardstock like that. And then punch it out, and then you take that off after you've punched out your pieces. Okay, so this is a bit short, so I just need to get a piece of cardstock leftover stuff. Oops. I have to figure out how to stop that from happening. You just have to advance it a little bit. It's not a big deal. Okay, so then you put, this is called an extender. And see, now you got a nice big handle and you can put it wherever you want. So if you want it to be different colors like that, or you can turn it this way, or you can turn it, it all depends on where you want it to be. I think right there looks really good. Make sure I have the pieces before I start throwing things away. Okay, now hit the card and we'll take the liner off the back of this and use my scissors as tweezers. And we're just going to kind of slip that in. Now you can go above it like I did there, or you can tuck it down inside. Or you can go half and half. Whatever way looks good to you. Okay, so here's the other little piece. the liner off of it. Hold it with the scissors. So I'm just using them as tweezers. I'm not cutting anything. And that'll go there. And look at that. Look at the sparkle you get from that paper. Isn't that cool? Woo. Yes. All right. So now we need to put some of the Whale of a Time sequins on there. So first of all, I'm going to put some little teeny tiny itty bitty teeny weeny dots of Tombow. I want to start it first to make sure it doesn't come out in a big blob. See? Okay, so we're going to put a little bit there. And then we'll put some here. And here. And maybe one up there. And one down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're putting embellishments on, you want to put them on in odd numbers, because they look better, they're more pleasing to the eye. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside so those have a chance to dry, and we'll stamp our inside and our envelope. So I need my dirty paper back again. Slide it on under here, and we need the Just Jade. We're going to stamp some turtles in Just Jade. So let me find my stamp here. Here we are. Now the card goes this way. And we'll just stick. When I'm doing this, I kind of like my images on the inside to be in odd numbers as well. So we'll just stick that to the side, and we'll stamp some turtles onto the envelope. There we go. And I'll close that up. My Just Jade ink pad is really, really juicy. It could be less juicy. Now I have mint macaron. I'll just put that to the side to dry. And we're going to do the dots, the bubbles, the breathing bubbles. So here we are. Ink it up with mint macaron and just kind of put some bubbles above the turtles' heads. There we are. Oh, and then I did sponge on this one too. I did add some sponging around the edge. So I will get rid of the dirty paper. The envelope to the side. And open up my mint macaron again. And get, I think I'll use a dauber this time. I find the dauber is a little bit easier to control the amount of ink you get on. And I'm not a big sponging fan, but I'm learning. I'm learning to embrace sponging. Okay. Just a little bit. I kind of want it to be whimsical because it is supposed to be under the water, under the ocean. Just like that. And then you can go back if you have some spots that don't have enough, just add a bit more. Okay, put that off my finger. Now, let's bring this back in. And they're not quite dry yet. I like letting them go till they're clear, but we don't have the time on this video. So this is the end for the take your pick tool, and it's really handy picking things up. So now you just kind of put it in there, find the sequin you want, and put it on top of the glue dot, like that. Let's go with this one. Whoops. Whoops. And we'll put it there. Oh, there's a dark one. Let's get that one in there. Down here. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, what else is there? This one. I don't know what color that is. Oh, that's the same dark color. Oh, isn't that lovely? Okay, we'll get one of these light ones down at the bottom. And see, this take your pick tool just makes everything really easy to deal with. It's even easier than tweezers. Then put the lid on your sequins. Yeah, and don't sneeze while you have it open. Okay, let's get some adhesive on the back of our inside piece. Okay, just about done this card. That doesn't take long to do. And we'll put it inside, kind of centering it in there, like that. There we are. So there's one of the cards for my, oops, there's a little piece of vellum from the last card. There's another one of the cards for the Whale Done Kit to Go class. You'll be able to do this class in person, or you can purchase the kit to go if you have, if you don't want to do it in person or you live out of town. If you do it in person, you won't get access to the videos. If you purchase the class kit to go, you will get all of the pieces cut out for you, including a little package of the sequins. Not a full, but I'll put some in a package for you. And I will mail that off to you. And then you will have access to the videos to put the cards together. So thanks for taking time out of your day to watch with me today. I appreciate you joining me in my craft room. Stamp and smiles, and bye for now.